Hey, this is Paul Bedford, the cybersecurity bloke. Welcome back to my series of videos talking about CIS version 8 and the controls that you can put in place to make yourself a great cyber defense strategy. Today I'm going to be talking about data recovery, network infrastructure management, and network monitoring defense. Data recovery is massively essential right now in this current climate, so it's really important. Let's jump straight in, shall we? Right, okay, so data recovery. Right now in this amazingly exciting time, it's really important that you have backups of your data. And also what you need to have is a data recovery process. So there's no point in backing up your data if you've got no way of actually getting that data back from your backups or restoring it, as it's called. And some things in your data recovery process, you're going to look at really what's important for you to back up, what's your most essential stuff. Have you protected these backups? How secure are your backups? Is it encrypted? Because you need to look after your backups, encrypt your backups, and make your backups as secure as your live systems if they're holding data that's particularly sensitive or really important for your organization. And once you've got this data recovery process in place, you need to make sure you keep it up to date. There's nothing worse than a data recovery process that when it needs to be executed, it doesn't work. So you look at it at least on an annual basis because that's what you need to do. And especially if you've had any major changes in your estate, then that's another good time to look again at your data recovery process. Now, obviously, manually backing up stuff in larger companies is almost impossible. So having some sort of solution that will enable you to automate all your backups is really important. And also determine how often you want these things backed up, whether you're going to do full backups or whether you're going to do incremental backups. Look at your sensitive, make sure your backups are as secure as your data. I already mentioned that. But one of the things is you may want to take your data physically off-site. There's a company called Iron Mountain that do data tapes. You can put stuff in their warehouses. Also, make sure that your data is immutable, or your backups are immutable. What I mean by immutable is that they can't be changed or altered in any way. One of the great tricks of ransomware is to actually corrupt all your backups, so you can't actually get it back. So, and what I would suggest you do is make sure that you regularly have a test data recovery session where you just check if something disastrous actually happens. Let's have a real scenario. Let's walk through it and let's try the backups and try restoring them and see if we can get the data back out. If you can't, then you need to change your process. So that's data recovery, vitally important in today's society and the way things are going right now. Next one. Oh, here we go. Press the right button. No, network infrastructure management. On your network, you've got probably hundreds and hundreds of different devices. And any one of these devices could be compromised at any time. And it's a pain in the neck trying to keep them all up to date. But you've got to keep your devices up to date. Replace them if they're very old. Replace them with more modern technology. Make sure that you patch them regularly. And also look at the latest software versions for each of these devices. And trust me, this is a big job if you've got a big network. And make sure that all your devices are still in support. If a device is outside of support, then please replace it with the latest version or come up with some sort of support agreement with the vendor if they actually allow you to extend it. Make sure you've got your network architecture mapped. Make sure you know what's on your network and also, keep that up to date. The amount of network architecture diagrams that I get from various companies, so out of date. So if there's any way of dynamically mapping your network and putting that into diagrams, that's a really useful thing to have. Also, another thing to do is segregate your network. Make sure that you work on a least privilege basis for permissions. And also make sure that if you're using any old Wi-Fi protocols or your Wi-Fi routers are pretty out of date, make sure you update those because Wi-Fi is a big way that people can get into your network. Great, okay, so that was network infrastructure management. Let's talk about the next one, which is network monitoring and defense. Now, is defense spelled with a C or an S? It's sometimes difficult. I think it depends on what country you're in. Anyway, this is a big one, and it can get really complicated and really technical and quite advanced. So I'm going to try and put this as a simple way as I possibly can. Make sure that the external boundary of your network is protected. And it's very difficult nowadays to say what is external and what is internal because it's a bit blurred. But you need to have multiple layers of protection to stop people from getting into your network from external places. Also, what you do need to worry about is on the inside of your network, you need to watch out for suspicious activities. Now, one of the things that you can do is you can implement a security information and event management system on your network, and it's called a SIEM. And what that actually does is it looks out for red flags across your network. You have to set it up. It's quite a difficult project to put in, but once it's there, it's actually very good. It looks for red flags, it looks for suspicious behaviors, and it can also flag these up to a human to look at and verify that they're actually a real problem. You can also make sure, set up alerts so that if anything happens on your network and you think that something's going down, you can be alerted instantly and you can get your incident management team on it. Also, what it can do is filter out, there's a lot of false positives on networks. A lot of things that might look suspicious that actually aren't, and just noise. And what a SIEM can do is it can help you filter out a lot of noise automatically. So you're only looking at the real dangers to your network. So also, one of the things is look up and put specific monitoring on very sensitive assets or servers. This is called host-based intrusion detection. If it's particularly sensitive, it's worth setting that up on individual assets and servers. And one of the things that will make, one of the problems with network, a lot of companies I've seen, is that they're very good at protecting the external network, but they're not good at separating out their internal network. And I've seen events at other companies where something gets in, and because it's in, and there's no internal segregation of the network, it floods through the network like wildfire. Flooding like wildfire? I've probably got that terminology wrong, but I think you get what I mean. So make sure you separate your network out, and if there's traffic going between different parts of your network, make sure you monitor that traffic and what's going across from one area to another. That's it really. So those are the 3 points I wanted to talk about today. Hope you've enjoyed that and that it's been useful for you. So thank you very much for watching this video today. If you've enjoyed it or if you haven't, please give me a like. Put some comments underneath the video. Comments make a massive difference and I can tailor content to you in the future. If you don't want to miss any of my videos, pop over to YouTube if you're not already on there. Search for CyberSec Savvy, subscribe, and put that notification bell on, and that way you'll always get a ping every time I add a new video. Thanks for watching. Great to talk.